Good afternoon.
I want to thank you so much for having me this opportunity to talk in front of such a very honorable community club. It's my pleasure to be here. As Mr. Bob said, I contacted him because basically what I'm doing is meeting what you guys do specifically. I also want to thank Cable 15, the city of Southfield, especially Mrs. Sarah Himes, for joining us tonight. This afternoon. Thank you so much. Do you know the difference between days and nights? Do you know the difference between dark and light? I actually don't. Yet, I'm looking for hope every single day. Looking for hope is not really that easy at all. It is very easy to say that days will pass by, you'll be fine, you'll be good. But at the end of the path, if you don't really realize what's going on around you, you will not be fine at all. For instance, living in a country like Lebanon that has inadequate facilities and services for the blind people wasn't really that productive to me. I was in a private school for the blind people only, so it's not only a private school, because usually private schools have way less numbers of students. But on top of that, it was only for the blind and disabled children. So I used to spend about 7 or 8 hours daily in this young society or small society, hearing about different problems. There were some inspirational stories that I heard. There were some really motivation that I've gone through, but overall the theme was so down, low. They think that they cannot do anything. They just go school, home, back home, school. And this country, basically Lebanon, does not offer that much for the disabled, maybe due to the conflicts like the social, economical, political, stuff like that. I stayed patient for about 15 years. That when I finished 8th grade, and I continued most of 9th grade. I have an uncle here in the United States, Yasser Farhat. He's a lawyer in Dearborn. He applied for us to come to the States, thinking that it is a better future, which it is. In 2009, exactly March 30th, 2009, I arrived at the Detroit International Airport thinking and truly dreaming that my dreams will become a reality very soon. Now what happened? I've been living in Dearborn since then. My name is Edsel Ford, so I supposed to go to Edsel Ford High School, but due to my severe blindness, I have to go to Lincoln Park Public Schools because they have all these services and facilities down there. I went there. Now, transferring to a totally different country is not that easy by itself. So just the idea of moving is not really that easy at all. I said I came to this country for one obvious reason, which is success. Nothing will prevent me. Nothing will stop me either. Why? Because I need to reach that change. The change that I'm talking about is what I've witnessed overseas, how people look at disabled individuals. They still help you, they are very nice people, but they still think that you cannot be that outstanding. You cannot achieve a lot of goals. You cannot be that much a good achiever. So I said, I'm here in the States. I have no more excuses. Here, everybody respects everybody. A lot of opportunities, equalities all over the place. So let me do it. And I went to Lincoln Park High School, which I thank him so much for actually providing every single thing I needed. From equipment, technology, everything I needed, it was provided. Thank you. I want to thank him so much. And here my journey started in the States. I went April, May, mid-June in the 2009. I went all 2010, 2011, 2012, the full years, sophomore, junior, and senior years. To be honest with you guys, it was a very great journey. I have no sad memory down at Lincoln Park High School. Absolutely no sad memory. Why? I focused on my schooling. Success was my nightmare, actually. So I was always making sure that I'm doing the right stuff, the right way, with the right people. At the meantime, I was focusing on my community, because at that time my language was so weak. I was able to read and write. I was able to take any English exam that anybody could take, but as far as talking and communicating was so weak. It was very choppy language. That's why I got involved in the community. I said, yes, my language might sound choppy, and a person can say, oh, you were an immigrant, or you're not an American, or you're not a resident. I said, I won't mind, honestly, because I want to improve my language. Here where I started my volunteering. So at that stage, ladies and gentlemen, I started doing two things. I started to build two things. My schooling record in a foreign country with my blindness and my language barrier. Also, I started to build my own resume as far as volunteering and helping blind individuals, regardless of their age. So yeah, I was a high school student, but I used to teach people that are 50, 60, 40, 30, 10, 11. And I started to go all over the place. Detroit Medical Center, in Dearborn, in Westland, at the Library for the Blind. I go to Carr Elementary School, Lincoln Park, to teach a student. And I felt that as Lincoln Park Public Schools and their district provided me everything, it is my honor and my responsibility to give back something. I gained a lot of benefits from that school journey and volunteering. I could say I graduated as one proud student on time, like anybody else. I got so many excellent academic achievement rewards, they were all gold. I got recognized by several community clubs. And best of all, I gained the knowledge and education. After high school, I went out to college. I'm in the bridge program between Henry Ford College and University of Michigan Dearborn. And honestly, what I know about this program is basically it's easier to transfer as far as credits. But since I'm going to be specializing in the special ed field, which I'm about to get the associate degree from Henry Ford College. It's my third semester there, and I have about 2 semesters or 3 left. Depends on the time, depends on the subjects. So I'll move to Eastern University to specialize in the visually impaired field. I might start at first as a teacher for the blind, but my ultimate goal actually is to work for the special education department, because I love to be a policymaker or an advisor to a policymaker. Because my experiences overseas and here, between a mixture between hardship and kind of flexibility, but still with my own effort, made me really wealthy when it comes to solutions, how to overcome all the obstacles, the challenges, and the difficulties. The same thing I did when I went out to college, the one that I started back at the high school. I always follow the same strategy, because I believe if we kept on the same rhythm, not spreading ourselves all over the place, we must reach something. So while I go to college, I increased my volunteering hours, which is very obvious because in the college you don't have that much. Even if you go every day, you go maybe for 3 to 4 hours maximum every day. I have more free time. I subjected my abilities that I gained through the high school interaction and my college life. I started teaching for real now. I used to go in my high school time to the elementary school or the middle school and help, but nowadays I became more like an advocate. Of course, it took some time. Nothing comes easy. And when I'm speaking in front of a lot of people, and today is one of them, I always tell them, nothing comes easy. However, we should try, because no one will come right at us, so, hey sir, do you want to be this, do you want to do that? Because you need to prove for the world that you can do it. And this takes me to my true moral of my story. So being as a volunteer, meeting a lot of people, building a lot of connections and involvements, I started to meet a lot of people, which just even expanded my knowledge and education more and more. I started to understand people. Honestly, I do accept any criticism as just like how I get so happy when I get complimented from people. Because we need to look at our bad and our good sides. Yes, I focus on my good and positive points so I could strengthen myself, but I still work on improving my weak points if I have any. The perspectives that I talked about earlier regarding disability, I found it here as well in some ways. I did not find a lot of young blind students or disabled in general. They are outgoing that much. They are seeking to change their life for the better, of course. And I felt, no, this will not really what I'm looking for. I said, yeah, I'm gonna start on my own. Hopefully the future is hiding some support or some sponsors or someone that will guide me towards the right track. And that's what I started to do. Besides increasing my volunteering hours, I started to give inspirational speeches. Then I started to focus more basically on the morals and on the abilities of a disabled person. Not only for talking, that wasn't the purpose at all. Not only to be on a television or a newspaper or radio station, no. Because I wanted to change this fact. The fact that yes, you can graduate from university, yes, you might be able to get married, have children, open a house, but that's it. In my life, honestly guys, I want to achieve something way further than this. I want to be so much purposeful and meaningful for all the blind people in specific and disabled in general and for all over the world, because disabled people, it depends on their disability, but I focus more on the blind because I live it. It's my life. 20 years old, I don't even know what does it mean to see without any hardship, meaning, I mean, with today's technology, it is better, but still, very hard time. A little example, transportation, especially in Michigan, since we don't have that much public transportation, at least where I live in Dearborn. So it's very hard sometimes to get from point A to point B. That's why I started to build friendships. Of course, not to give me rides back and forth, but you know, I mean, you need to do something. And when I talk about something really outstanding, something that is truly will not be forgotten. People could say he was blind, he was an immigrant, he was not speaking English very well, and it wasn't for his benefit right away. It was for everybody else's benefits. I cannot stand it when I see mothers are crying from happiness when they see their child is able to email, is able to walk outside, because I go visit houses, hospitals, centers for the children that are disabled and blind, and I go to schools and homes actually to teach and to as a mentor for parents who has a child who is disabled or has any kind of disorder that they are not accepting it. It is not fun to live with a disability though. Not at all. Who likes to be limited? A disability is like a limit. However, staying determined, dedicated, and thankful and faithful in our capabilities and abilities will definitely get us somewhere. And the best example I could give myself, again, it's not because of me, not at all, just to illustrate it, because I usually like to give proofs by doing something. I don't like to keep talking without any proofs, without any practical incidents. I started as a little volunteer. In a lot of places, I didn't even know the staff members. I didn't even know the clients that I'm going to be working with.